You know, some people are just delusional. Look what this dude right here had to say. Michael Jordan copied LeBron's Mind the Game because Michael Jordan is coming out with a show called Insight to Excellence and he copied LeBron James. Stop it, bruh. Michael Jordan's show and new broadcast has nothing that he want to copy when it comes to LeBron James. Let's just call it for what it is. So to that delusional dude that said that Jordan copied LeBron James and his mind game show or whatever. Come on, dog, grow up, bruh. You know what I'm saying? We all know that LeBron James wants to be Michael Jordan so bad. And wants to be Kobe too. Let's just call it for what it is. But God bless the Black Mamba. What I want to talk about is this. Michael Jordan had an interview on NBC. And he even said, and this was straight to LeBron James, I have an obligation to basketball. I have an obligation to present and show what I think and how I feel in today's game. He also said, I wish I could take a pill so I can play the game today because I miss it so much. And I love the game of basketball to death. And the reporter asked him, how much do you miss the game? He said, man, I miss it so much. I wish I can go ahead and strap up my shoes and play again. Michael Jordan sent a direct message to this era of basketball. Every player has an obligation to excellence, an obligation to play till their last drop. Put your blood, sweat, and tears. But by the way the game is going today, that would never happen. But I think Jordan's perspectives and him being on NBC is going to pull up the ratings, you know, from all the old school fans to even new fans and even those that are curious of what Michael Jordan is going to talk about with these new athletes and the athletes of today when it comes to the Basketball Association. But that direct hit when he first said, I have an obligation to basketball. That wasn't just him talking just to talk or for clout. That was an icon talking, referencing, reflecting and refreshing the mind of every NBA player that is playing today. That if you don't have an obligation, and if you don't have respect for the sport, if you don't have the morals and the integrity and intelligence and talent to be a legend or icon basketball player, then you know what? You will never be remembered. And if you put basketball away just because you just want to memorize yourself as in just making money, and not care about the game of basketball, then you will never have an obligation. Your obligations will be excuses. Your obligations will be nothing but a paycheck and not even show the love and the respect that you got for the game. But Michael Jordan said, well, I'm old now, so I'd just rather sit down in the bleachers, you know, and just watch the game from afar away. But if I had the chance to strap on and put on my shoes and go out there and play, I would definitely go out there and play because that's how much I love the game. Them words resonated to one person. And one person who is so-called the king, who is so-called the greatest NBA player of all time. I know he heard them words and it cut like a knife. It probably choked him. He probably ran out of breath. It's like going through asthma when you need that asthma pump and you need it quickly, because if you don't, you're just going to pass out and drop. That's exactly how I think LeBron James felt when he heard Michael Jordan say them words. As a basketball player, good or not good, you have an obligation to represent the game, to represent the love, and to represent the association of basketball as a professional, as one that has love for it, no matter the consequences, no matter if you win or lose, but you have an obligation, because remember, there's a young kid, there's a teenager, there's someone in junior high school or in senior high or in college that is looking at you as a mentor, that is looking at you as their hero, as their superstar, for you to conduct yourself in a professional way, for you to conduct yourself in the most standard, respectable, and honorable way when it comes to you lacing up them shoes and going into that basketball court. And even after you finish playing basketball, you still gotta show humbleness and respect, and show humility, and show the love that you have for the game by passing it on to those that are willing to take the same sacrifice with sweat, blood, and tears as Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Hakeem Olajuwon, and so many other greats that have paved the way for basketball. Kobe Bryant, I can't forget, that's my dog, God bless his soul. And so many other greats, man, you know what I'm saying? Patrick Ewing, John Stockton, you know, and so many others, you know what I'm saying, that paved the way. D. Wade, you know what I mean? I can't forget Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and the list goes on and on and on, man. So you see, every basketball player has an obligation to be obligated to make sure that they keep the game of basketball intact, to keep the game of basketball and the love of the game flowing passionately, physically, but most importantly, respectably, to where our young youth can see that it's about determination, competition, love, sacrifice. And it's not going to be easy. Not in this soft era that we have today, that you can't even play defense. That's why when Michael Jordan speaks, his words are defined with truth, compassion, power, integrity, intelligence, but all from the heart. And he can say that because he went through them obstacles. Jordan went through failures. Jordan went through losing seasons. Jordan went through his bad times. Jordan even retired 2 times, and the first time it was because his father was murdered. God bless his soul. But just the itch of the game came back a year and a half later when he was playing baseball. And he came back and y'all saw what he did. The greatness of Michael Jordan, even him retired, his heart and soul still to this day speaks basketball. I know when Michael Jordan goes to sleep, he dreams about every game that he ever played, and he wished that he can put on shoes again so he can go ahead and show these young basketball players and these basketball players that have been here, you know, for years playing, how the game really should be played. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Michael Jordan is already in that age that, hey, he's okay with it. You know what I'm saying? He let go of it, and he's fine with it. You know what I'm saying? He can live with that. He left everything in the basketball court. But just that word, obligation, I know that had to touch everybody. And I know it had to hurt, and it cut like a knife. And it sure got through everybody's head in cerebral capacity. And everybody probably were looking like, what? What did he just say? Everybody got an obligation. Yeah, everybody got an obligation because remember, like I said earlier, there's someone, a young one, from elementary school, from middle school, from junior high to senior high, from college, that is looking at you. That's looking at them, I'm sorry, and say, I want to be just like him. I want to be just like Luka. I want to be just like the Joker. I want to be like Kevin Durant. I want to be like Stephen Curry. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be like Russell Westbrook or James Harden, or I just want to be somebody that is great within the Basketball Association themselves. So you have an obligation to do your job thoroughly. And you need to do it with no excuses and not firing back or pointing fingers at nobody or blaming nobody for your failures or your wrong efforts or your wrong choices or if you lose. How do you do it? By sticking to your obligations and your responsibilities and be held for your accountabilities if you win or lose. And Jordan had to learn that through his basketball career. You know what I'm saying? So when Jordan says obligation, it's just more than just being a good basketball player or excellent basketball player. You have to have you have to have a good chemistry with your team, with your coach. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to be able to adapt to that environment so all can feel comfortable to be able to play together as a team and not be divided and not be, with a grudge on their face looking at each other crazy and not one thinking that he's better than the whole team and always just wants to be antagonizing and can't work with, and it's impossible to connect with that person because it's all about me. No. And Jordan had to learn that his obligation was, my coach is telling me I need to play with my team. And guess what? Jordan listened to him because he knew that Phil Jackson was just as loyal as he was to him. You understand? So, for the young ones that didn't understand what Jordan said, that I have an obligation to the Basketball Association and the NBA, that is the word and quote of an icon legend, of the greatest player of all time, even saying, even though I'm not playing basketball, I'm retired, I still have an obligation. I still need to be here because I was the game and I still love the game and I will always be a part of the game because I basically, through all my life, it's all I've ever done. It's play basketball, you know what I'm saying? And went through the trials and tribulations within the league itself for me to be able to get to the point where I'm at today. So I'm okay. I'm fine with it. I've learned how to let that go of me not be able to play, which bothered me because I want to keep playing if it was up to me. But the first few words he said is what caught my attention, and I bet you it caught LeBron James' attention, and it caught everybody's attention. I have an obligation. That means even though that man is not playing basketball, he still feels that he has to be there for the love of basketball, but also to put basketball where it once was at one point of time. Because basketball right now is what it used to be. It's all over the place. It's a mess. So just think about that, what Jordan said. And for a homeboy that said that he copied LeBron James, I don't even know what you're talking about. You must be taking some serious drugs or something, or you probably just a LeBron stan that just can't stand for nobody else to be successful, and it's all about me, 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 me. You know how many NBA players, you know how many other players and athletes got their own show? And you trying to tell me Jordan hasn't said nothing for almost a 30-year period, and now that he wants to come out of NBC and do his own show, he's copying LeBron James? Stop it. What about LeBron James copying Michael Jordan, or wearing Michael Jordan's number? Not only that, also want to copy Kobe Bryant, doing storytelling like Kobe Bryant did so he could win an Oscar or a Grammy. What about that one? Talk about that one, bro. I can't stand people like that. But back to Jordan. So just to hear him say that, man, it's an honor to hear Michael Jordan say that. It's an honor to hear that he still loves the game just as much as he did when he was playing it with the Bulls, even when he was in college and all that. To hear the greatest player of all time talk so humble about the game and talk about that he still feels that he needs to be responsible, to be obligated, to be there, and to show people and talk to the people how the game's supposed to be played and how a competitive side of the game should be played by teams and how it should be conducted and respected and how great players should humble themselves and not think that they're better than anybody. Well, I'm all for it, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to let the world know and acknowledge to the audience, you know what I'm saying, that even the retirees, the Hall of Famers, the icons that played before, we still have a place and we have a responsibility and an obligation as legends, icons, and Hall of Famers, and have the rights to be able to speak on and how we feel and how we look at the game today and what needs to be changed and how the basketball players should be able to conduct themselves and show respect for the game and show humility in the game. But most importantly, where is the competitive side of the NBA, how we used to have it at one point, and also to put the ratings up, to get our fans back into watching basketball as it used to be at one point in time. Michael Jordan said a lot just with that word, obligation. And it means a lot to fans like me to hear the GOAT speaking this way. And the way that he does it. Calm, cool, collected. You know, with an ease. Like hey, this man knows what he's talking about. And he's talking some real shit. And this is what we need to hear. That's why to millions and millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan talked his shit, his trash, and he spoke through his game. Not by talking through the media and making it seem that he's something that he wasn't or he was. His game spoke loudly, and it spoke more than anything else of what any other player or anybody can ever talk about when it comes to that basketball court. That's what Jordan did. That's what he laid everything at, that basketball court. He did that talking and he did that walking. Where? In that basketball court. But I just can't wait to see Michael Jordan on NBC, you know what I'm saying? And also his new show. I can't wait to see it either, because I'm going to say I'm a big Jordan fan, and I grew up watching Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So nothing but the utmost respect for the GOAT for saying what he said. And I leave y'all with this. We all have an obligation in life. I don't care what it is. If you are doing something great for yourself and you have a journey, remember, we all have an obligation to make sure we complete our task, we complete our mission, or we complete whatever it is that we are designed to do. We all have an obligation. And if you don't follow your expectations to the obligation, you will fall for anything. But that's all I got today. Man, y'all go ahead, hit me up in my comments, let me know how y'all feel, and y'all tell me if y'all saw the Michael Jordan interview, and tell me y'all thoughts and what y'all think about what he said. There's your boy Chico Black, aka Jaloso. Y'all hit me up. Y'all go ahead. Peace out, man.